Hello, YouTube. It's Bob Bundy. We're over at our shop where we roast coffee, and I wanted to explain to you a little bit about how we've evolved into this coffee process and the commercial aspect of things, and kind of where we began. We began with roasting. I developed a liking for Kenya Double A coffee, and it was a really good roast. Royal Cup Coffee would roast it, and Mom and Daddy would order it, and we would enjoy the benefits of that. And it got to where Kenya Double A was very hard to find, so I started looking, and I could find some green beans of Kenya Double A, but I could find very little that was already roasted. So I ordered some green beans and didn't know anything about roasting coffee. I just knew that if you wanted to, you could roast it in a cast iron skillet. So I got some green beans and put them on the stove and started kind of doing it Jiffy Pop style on a cast iron skillet. And it ended up being pretty good. The the beans did real well. The coffee ended up tasting pretty good. The smoke in the house was pretty bad, and the chaff and such like that. So it wasn't the best thing to do. Would be actually roasted in the house. The other part of it that was tough was that there was no consistency. The next batch that I roasted was awful, and then the next one was really good. So cast iron skillet was not the way to go. So I started looking around, and there's all sorts of roasters out there. There's everything from like a hot air popcorn popper sort of roaster to more elaborate sort of things, and you can spend as much money as you have or as you want to. So the first one that I actually ordered was this one. It's called a Gene Cafe or a Genie Cafe. And this is a really good roaster. I mean, I really enjoyed roasting with it. It's fairly, you can specify your heat, your time that you're going to roast it, the all sorts of things like that. And this uses hot air, and what it does is it sends hot air through. But at the same time it's sending the hot air through, it's got an asymmetrical drum that's stirring up the coffee, and it does a really good job of having an even roast. This produced some really good coffee, and I started selling it. First, I started giving it away, and people enjoyed it. And then I said, well, gosh, maybe I could do the farmers market. So I checked into the farmers market at Independence, Virginia, and they had a spot open for some coffee, and ended up roasting it for that. The trouble with this roaster is that it only roasts a half a pound at a time. So I would have 30 minutes to reach temperature, 15 minutes of roasting or whatever like that, and then you have to cool it down before you can roast another batch. So to roast 20 bags of coffee took a long time. It was like almost 20 hours worth of work to do it. So that's the only drawback to this machine, really. Now, if you're a home roaster and you want to do for your own personal, this kind of thing, perfect. So I would recommend it. If you're going to do it semi-commercially, probably a little small volume wise for that. So I was looking for things that I could do. So I looked and I found this one, and this is called the Hot Top Roaster, and it actually has a heat shield here. But this one is a little bit more elaborate. I can roast batch after batch on this one when I can't really do it on this one. It has a better cooling system. This cooling system it'll cool it off pretty quick like. And then I can clean all aspects of the roaster fairly easy. The one thing it does is I can adjust everything on it. I can adjust temperature, time, heat, the fan speed, all sorts of things like that. So you can really tailor the roast that you want to get with this machine. It did a really good job. The drawback is, even though I could roast batch after batch, you're still limited. For a certain number of batches, you have to stop and do a deep clean of it, which you have to clean all of them. But that hampered your ability to do batch after batch with this one. This it will only do 400 grams at a time, which is a little over half a pound or so. So well, it's close to a pound, but this was a good roaster, but it just still didn't quite do the volume that I wanted to do. So I did some more searching, and there's some really nice roasters. There's one made up in I believe it's Wisconsin. that's a really nice American roaster and whatever like that. But it ended up that I got this roaster, and this is called an Alilio Bullet, and this is designed by a couple of European fellas, and then it's actually manufactured in Taiwan. But the roast for this one is really easy to use. It's all computer linked into my system here. The Hot Top has a computer linked model, but I didn't have that model.
The bullet is now ready.
But this one, it has a preheat temperature of 260, so you can produce a really fine cup of coffee. And the good thing is you can repeat it. It's very reliable. You can do batch after batch after batch, and you can get the same cup of coffee from that batch. It's adjustable as far as the fan speed, the drum speed, the heat, all sorts of adjustable settings and such. And the nice thing is you can change the settings as you go through the process too. This one does put out some smoke out of here. I do have to do a deep clean of it, fairly regularly and such. The reason you have keep them so clean is because fire is a real problem with some of these. All of them can catch fire, and that's a problem. But this one also has what's called a trier. You can actually pull out a sample halfway through the batch and see what it tastes like, and give you an idea of what you're dealing with. The best thing about this, other than it producing a really good cup of coffee, is that it'll produce a kilogram worth of coffee, which is 2.2 pounds of dry or of green beans going in, and I'll probably get about 860 grams out after the moisture's been evaporated out and all that sort of thing. But this is a good roaster. I can do 4 bags per roast, and then the good thing is I can push another button, do some vacuuming of some areas, and then I can do another batch right after it. And I don't like to do too many of those batches because I don't want to have buildup of chaff to where you could have a fire situation. So what I ended up doing is I'll do probably 3 batches max, and then I'll let it cool down, and then I'll do a vacuuming of everything, and then do like that. But what we've got is we've got the cast iron frying pan was the first evolution, the Gene Cafe Hot Top, and the Bullet. And now the price of these, this is I think $690 right now. This one is about $1,200. The computer version of this one's over $2,000, and this one's over $3,000. And it just depends on how serious you want to get with it and what your end goal is. This will be the last roaster I'll buy unless I buy another one. But this will be the last roaster I buy. It's very sturdy, it's heavy duty, and I'm keeping it clean and maintaining it really well. So, and that's the key. But if you have any questions about any of these, don't hesitate to drop me a note in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer what questions I've got. A lot of this was trial and error as I went through. And the good thing about roasting coffee is you're always learning. It's an exciting process to do, and that's part of the fun of it, is you're always learning. But I just wanted to kind of take you through that, and now we're producing coffee. I got a call the other day saying we need some more coffee, so that's exciting, and I love to hear it. So if you got questions, don't hesitate to ask. Take care. Y'all have another cup of coffee. Bye-bye.